Now, what about all other drinks? We will talk about it, but the first thing I'd like to tell you that in the Buteyko method, everything is rather individual. In fact, sometimes when people would ask Konstantin Buteyko about what they are supposed to eat or drink, he was very hesitant to answer their questions. And the reason for it was that he truly believed that breathing is more important than eating or drinking, and if you just stay focused on your breathing, you will be able to change your eating and drinking patterns. On another hand, there is a tendency to switch attention to eating or drinking instead of breathing, and therefore Buteyko always preferred not to discuss those topics in details, because they actually could act as a distraction for a person. A general recommendation is that if you don't know what kind of food or what kind of liquids are good for you to take in, you could always measure their impact on your health. When we eat or drink something, it almost never increases our positive maximum pause or control pause. Sometimes it's possible, but almost never. So often it's often it decreases the positive maximum pause. So you could always measure the impact of any food or drink on your health. So let's say you want to drink soda. Measure your positive maximum pause before you do that and after, and see if your numbers would change. If they go down quite a bit, that means that that can of soda was bad to your health. Another way to check the impact of any food or drinks on your health is simply by observing your breathing. So I know that when I eat, let's say, a piece of meat, it makes my breathing heavier. I could feel it, and sometimes I could also see it. So try to observe the impact of any food or drinks on your breathing, and that will help you to determine the effect of those substances on your health. In the Buteyko method, everything is individual. So certain food or drinks which might be bad for some people could be good for others under certain circumstances. Therefore, if you are not sure, it's always good to measure the effect. Generally speaking, soda, for example, contains a lot of sugar, and sugar makes people breathe more, breathe deeper. So it's definitely a very good idea to avoid consuming any kind of soda. Caffeine also isn't good for breathing. However, it has a slightly different impact. Caffeine also makes people breathe more and deeper. However, for people with breathing difficulties, it could be quite helpful. It's helpful in a short run and definitely harmful in a long run. People with breathing difficulties often know that if they just drink a little bit of coffee, that might stop their asthma attack, let's say. It's because in this case coffee acts almost the same as a rescue inhaler. It opens up the respiratory system, and it creates a feeling that it's easier to breathe. However, it also builds a pattern of heavy, deep breathing. So if you drink a lot of coffee or black tea, it's definitely a good idea to work on this pattern and to reduce the amount of caffeine. Okay, what else we drink? Juice. It seems that juice is a more natural drink compared to soda, for example, and of course it is. And yet, if you look at what Mother Nature offers us, it definitely doesn't offer us juice. You know, it might offer us an apple, and if you eat an apple, you just get enough juice, enough liquid of that fruit. But why do you need to use 5, 10 apples in order to have a glass or a bottle of juice? You know, sometimes we base our decisions on the idea that more is better. More of everything is better. More vitamins is always better. It's not necessarily this way, and we'll talk about it. Buteyko's idea was really less is better. Being less dependent on the outside world, desiring less, is much healthier and better for us. So unless you know that you're lacking specific vitamins and you are trying to get them by drinking juice, in the Buteyko method, it's not recommended to drink juice. Water is the most natural liquid, and it's really sufficient for our existence, for our well-being. Alcohol. If you are trying to maintain control over your breathing, alcohol could be quite dangerous because it really makes us less aware. Also, often it makes us breathe more. So a general recommendation regarding alcohol in relation to breathing and health is, if you would like to drink some, drink very little as possible. Actually, Buteyko had a funny recommendation regarding alcohol. He would say that if your positive maximum pause is 100 seconds, then you could have 100 grams of alcohol. If your positive maximum pause is 5 seconds, that 5 grams is all you could have. So since very few people have a high positive maximum pause, it's better to drink very little alcohol. Otherwise, it will have a negative influence on your breathing. So summarizing things regarding what we drink, I would say, if you can, try to drink water only. Water should be as pure as possible, and don't force yourself to drink a lot of water. Instead, stay focused on your breathing, and you will find out that you will naturally consume more water over time.